Am I the a-hole for walking our dog while my wife was getting ready for dinner? This Friday, my wife and I had reservations at her favorite restaurant. It's a special place to her, one where we've shared a lot of important moments, so when her birthday was coming up, I knew this was the perfect spot for us to have a quiet night together. While we do have a big birthday party planned for her in a couple of weeks with friends and family, this dinner was supposed to be just for us, our intimate celebration, before the craziness of planning and hosting a larger event took over. It was something we both had been looking forward to, a rare chance to spend time together without distractions. The way the reservation was set up, I had to come home from work, quickly change into something a little nicer, and head straight out the door. The restaurant is about an hour and a half away by car. Yes, we live out in hick country, and yes, that makes for some pretty long drives for nice things, but it's part of our lifestyle, and we've come to accept it. I'm a bit of a hick myself and enjoy the peace and space, and we've built a nice life out here. And no, we aren't moving, at least not that I'm aware of. Haha, this is home for us, quirks and all. That day, everything at work had gone smoothly, and I was feeling good about the evening ahead. There was no traffic on the way back, and I arrived home right on schedule. I figured we'd be out the door in no time, but as soon as I walked in, I realized my wife was still getting ready. Now, this isn't typical for her. She's usually pretty punctual and organized, especially when it comes to things like this. I was a little surprised because we were cutting it close, but I tried not to stress. I could tell she was doing her best to hurry, and when I asked what was going on, she explained that she got delayed with something completely out of her control. I can't remember what exactly it was, but it wasn't her fault at all, and it really only set us back by maybe 20 minutes. No big deal. I thought there's still time to make it. While I was waiting by the door, our dog, who had been lounging around all day, suddenly got up and started pacing. He's usually pretty chill, but when he needs something, he lets us know. I figured he needed to go out for a bathroom break, and since we had a few minutes to spare while my wife finished getting ready, I decided to take him for a quick walk around the yard. We've got a decent-sized yard, so it gave him space to stretch his legs, and it helps me clear my head too. It didn't take long, maybe 5 minutes tops. Afterward, I picked up after him, got him back inside, and made sure everything was squared away before heading back to the door just as my wife was finally ready to go. We managed to make it to the dinner reservation right on time, though just by the skin of our teeth. The drive had been smooth, but I was still feeling a bit of that pressure from almost being late. Once we sat down, though, all that tension melted away. The dinner itself was amazing. We had great conversation, shared some laughs, and the food was perfect as always. By the end of the evening, I was genuinely happy with how everything had turned out. My wife seemed in good spirits too, so I had no reason to think anything was wrong. The next morning, though, things took a strange turn. Over breakfast, out of the blue, my wife told me that she had never known me to be so impatient. I was genuinely confused. I had no idea what she was talking about, and I asked her to explain. She rolled her eyes and said she noticed how I took the dog for a walk while she was finishing up getting ready, and she thought I did it as a way to hurry her along, like I was trying to send some sort of passive-aggressive message that she was taking too long. She went on to say that she didn't want to let my bad mood ruin the night, so she kept quiet about it during dinner, but now it was bothering her. I was completely taken aback. From my perspective, I had been in a great mood the entire time. I had been excited about the dinner and wasn't in any rush. I explained that to her, but she refused to believe me. She insisted that I had been sulking or irritated, and no matter what I said, she just got more upset. It escalated pretty quickly, and she ended up pretty angry, to the point where we haven't been able to have a calm conversation about it since. Every time I try to bring it up or explain my side, she shuts it down or tells me I'm not being honest about my feelings. So now I'm stuck. I genuinely don't understand what I did wrong, and I don't know how to fix this. I feel like we're having a disagreement over something that wasn't even an issue in the first place, and yet it's turned into this big thing that I can't seem to resolve. Update 1. Hello. I feel weird updating, but I have good news and want to share somewhere, and here seems as good a place as any right now. And actually, I wanted to thank everyone for commenting and the people who reached out privately with advice. You really helped me calm down and figure out how to approach talking about this while seeing where my wife could have been coming from. One person even called exactly what was going on, something I dismissed right away, stupidly. So I came home the next day and brought home pizza from her favorite spot in town, which we never get because of crowds, because I figured even if I wasn't outright wrong, there was no reason not to make the conversation nice. So after dinner, I asked about the dog again, and after a lot of back and forth and crying that I'll skip explaining, she explained that for the past week or so she had been feeling weirdly emotional and she couldn't explain it. Some people had mentioned some things here about different health stuff that could cause those sorts of symptoms, and I got pretty nervous and got her in at her doctor's office within a couple of days. Well, imagine our embarrassment walking out 5 minutes after getting in and doing a test we could have done at home for like $20 without including insurance companies. She is going to talk to her therapist about meeting every week for a while she adjusts, deals with hormonal changes. We've been laughing about it now because never crossed our minds she could have been pregnant. Someone commented it, but I still didn't believe it because I am dumb. Never mind that we're both in our 20s, or that she switched birth control like 2 months ago, and we may or may not have had unprotected sex during the switch week. Anyway, as stupid as we may be, we are still excited but waiting until the 12-week mark to tell our families. However, I've been itching to tell someone and can't wait any longer, so here's an update. Haha. Wife approved because it's anonymous. Thanks again for the help. I appreciate it a lot, even if I didn't take the advice of the person who was right.